If you've ever been on leave for so long that you actually grew a beard, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Guys, like and comment. Those things help me out quite a bit. The comment section is world famous. Get down there. I don't want to forget them. They were very butthurt when I didn't mention them last time. Guys, Gun Mag Warehouse is our biggest supporter. Get in there. Buy magazines from them. They hooked you guys up in California. Hopefully that comes back and you guys can get mags again. But they're super cool, including Daniel, usually. Guys, this video is also being sponsored by SimpliSafe today. If you're looking to buy some sick plaid, look at no further than Vertex. Also bags have a lot of great stuff. Go in there and check them out. We also have LAX ammo for ammunition so you can actually get training. Gentlemen, ladies, attack helicopters, thank you for watching today. Pretty simple video today. We're going to be talking about the 4 things you should know before you buy a handgun. This can be helpful for those of you who already have handguns included. So without wasting too much of everybody's time, the first thing you need to know before you buy a handgun is that the handgun choice really doesn't matter. Now, if you go online, you're going to see everybody arguing about this make and model or that make and model. People say, hey, the Glock is terrible, it doesn't fit anybody's hands, or, you know, the Beretta is the absolute best handgun out there and you should get a Beretta or a CZ or whatever. And I'm here to tell you that it really doesn't matter that much. It honestly doesn't. So as long as you're buying a modern handgun, and I know that there are some older handguns that do fine, but if you're buying a modern handgun with the exception of the Springfield XD, and I'm serious about that, with the exception of the Springfield XD, you're looking at handguns that are all equally just about as good as each other. You know, some people say, you know, Glocks are more reliable or CZs or this or that, and yeah, it does come down to personal preference, and that's what you should know. Personal preference. How does it fit your hand? How does it shoot for you? Do you like it? Does it look cool? If you don't like the way it looks, I mean, honestly, looks are kind of part of it. So find something for you. I'd highly recommend going to a range and holding these guns and trying them out. Now, a lot of people, before we kind of go any further, will pick up a Glock and they'll say, oh, it doesn't fit my, you know, the grip angle is weird, it doesn't fit my hand. Well, if you don't know what you're doing as far as shooting, then how do you know what fits your hand? So it's important to kind of know a little bit of what you're doing. But for the most part, any gun out there is going to be great. I love CZs. I love M&P 2.0. So get out there and check them out. Everybody just doesn't have to have a Glock, just as a quick note. And as I was saying, the gun doesn't matter. You can see right here in these videos, I'm going to shoot multiple different firearms in 2 different types of drills. The first drill is just going to be a bill drill, 6 rounds onto steel at about 15 yards. 173 on that one. Seven six, pretty much the same. Yeah, 180. Same. With each gun, the split times are virtually the same, even with different calibers. And by the way, caliber 9mm, 40, 45, really not that whole lot of difference there. Now, after that drill, I did a transition drill where I transitioned between 3 steel targets, positioned 7 to 9 yards apart from each other at 15 yards of distance. 199. I think I'm just getting faster at this drill. 185, those. Fast as the 1911. Oh, yeah, Glock 45. I'm gonna go shooting. Mine feels so 210. As you can see, my split times are virtually the same with all these different handguns, and some of them I'm a little bit more comfortable with, so some of them I'm a little bit faster, but I hovered around the 1.8 to around the 2.3 second mark for that drill. So find the pistol that works for you, but realize that it really doesn't matter because it's more you than it is the gun. Promise you. The second thing you should know before buying a handgun is factor in ammo costs and accessories costs. So a lot of people will say to themselves, okay, I've got, you know, $1,100 to spend, or, you know, $1,500. It's time to buy a Beretta LTT because these things are bitching. And I agree, these things are really sick. But, I think the question you should ask yourself is, you can buy this, yes, but do you have the money then to feed this? Because that's going to be equally important. So I'd much rather you buy like a Glock 45 or what have you, or some other handgun, and buy the ammo with the extra money that you have. Let's say you have $1,100 to spend. Yeah, buy a Glock 45 for about $500. Next $500, throw it in on ammunition, and then the last $100 magazines and a holster and that type of thing. So make sure you're incorporating costs for peripherals. If you're getting a gun for concealed carry, don't forget to get a good belt and a good holster. Those things really matter. So make sure that you're incorporating those things in. Otherwise, you just have a really cool handgun with no way to actually carry it, and then what does it matter at that point? So make sure you're including everything when you're considering buying a handgun, and there are quite a few costs that go along with it. For those of you who are new, things that you're probably gonna wanna get with your handgun are things like ammunition, like I talked about. You're gonna need a holster. If you get a holster, you're probably gonna need a nice belt, like a gun belt of some type. I have videos on those too, check them out. Besides that, you're probably gonna need a safe, which brings me to our third point, security. So when it comes to security, first off, I'm a big advocate of being a responsible gun owner. So what that means to me is making sure that your gun is secure. Now, if you have children, you should absolutely have your firearms secure. Not because, I know you can train your kids and they can be very, very good with firearms, but even still, I'm a guy who errs on the side of caution. Please be safe with your stuff. So have it in a safe. There's a lot of great safes out there for bedside guns. If you want a gun you can get to immediately, where it's a handprint, a quick little code, you can get right into that thing within a second or two. So I'd highly recommend investing in that, because we really should be safe with our guns, because otherwise there's possible loss of life. And that's a tragedy. And not just that, but it also makes us look bad. Every time I go on the news and I hear about some kid shooting himself, I'm like, great, it's more ammunition against us from the anti-gun world. So don't let that happen. Don't let that become a statistic. Not just because it hurts, the gun rights cause, but honestly because you want to make sure that somebody doesn't lose their life accidentally, because that sucks. So make sure that you're safe with it. Now, besides the safe, you should have a home security system. So there are plenty of home security systems out there. We're going to talk about the one that I use. Obviously, you guys know the video is sponsored by SimpliSafe. So I got turned on to that product about a while back when I read a CNET review on it from a buddy who was also a firearm owner. So let me explain why I use it, but do understand that I did reach out to them with context to this video, that I want to talk a little bit about their product. So I do believe in it. You guys know I shoot down products if I don't like them. So just understand that there is a relationship there, that I've used the product prior to the relationship, but I do like the product quite a bit, which is why now I'm working with them a little bit. So let me explain why. So SimpliSafe is a home security system that you install yourself. So here's why I like that, is because you can put the sensors wherever you want. So, I have the motion sensors and the door sensors and all that kind of stuff. At the doors, normal places, windows, that type of stuff, they'll communicate to like a home base station. You also have cameras and that type of stuff. But what I also have is I have those remote systems and those motion sensors in my gun room and on my safe. So what's nice about that is I have that extra level of security specifically around my safe. So these can all be programmed to do certain things that will call the police, all that kind of stuff, same monitoring stuff. And it's kind of like the Netflix of the security world, where you subscribe on like a monthly basis and that type of stuff. It's pretty cheap, it's like 50 cents, which is why I like it. I think it's more feasible for most people to have this type of security system where it's scalable based on, where you buy a little bit at a time or whatever. And that's what I did when I was first setting up my home security system. So again, you get alerts and that type of stuff, which is why I have it. There's also other stuff like smoke detectors and water detectors and glass break sensors and all that type of stuff. But I like it too because, like you guys, I'm a little bit of a survivalist, right? I like to make sure that I'm prepared for kind of like worst case scenarios. And so if like the power dies, the system still works. If the Wi-Fi dies, the system still works and all that type of stuff. So that's why I use it, why I like it. Understand there are others out there. I'm not trying to sound too sales pitchy, just understand that I do like the product, just like I like other things, like I like Aimpoint Comp M5, certain EOTech products and certain AR-15s and certain guns. It's just another gamut in products that I like, but understand that everybody's gonna be different based on what they need. So point is, take a look at your system, figure out what works for you for me, it's Simply Safe. I think it's a really good option for gun owners, and kind of go from there. Now, beyond home security, another important thing is going to be not drawing attention to yourself, and this kind of goes along with security. So a lot of guys have like all these stickers on the back of their truck. It's like Glock inside and Glock and, you know, CZ and Beretta and all this kind of stuff in their car. And really you're kind of drawing attention to yourself, right? You're saying there's probably a gun in my car or probably a gun at my house. And that can be good and bad, right? You know, maybe someone's not going to want to break in, or maybe people are actually looking for a gun and that's going to make you a target. So if you ever see my car, you'll notice I have like no stickers on it. I kind of go gray man, and I highly recommend doing that. I really don't want to draw attention to myself and let everyone know that I have firearms, because I don't want people, you know, targeting my house and trying to break in. Because if somebody really doesn't want to, they're probably going to get in. You know, they're probably going to be able to get to that stuff. And that comes down to your safe as well. Make sure that your safe is actually bolted into the ground. It's supposed to be a deterrent of some type, but if that thing's not bolted to the ground, man, they're getting away with the guns. So anyhow, my point is just make sure that you're taking care of yourself as far as security-wise when it comes to your firearms, whether that be home security with ADT or Simply Safe, which is what I use with, you know, displaying what you have on your car and that type of stuff. Just make sure you're being safe. Now, our fourth and final point is probably the most important, and I alluded to it in the first point, and that is training. Make sure that you get training. If this is your first handgun purchase, or whether it's your 20th, and you don't have any training, I'd highly, highly recommend it. It's just like trying to go out and golf without taking any training. You need somebody to teach you the swing, just like with shooting. You need somebody to teach you how to grip and all that type of stuff. There's a lot of great courses out there. You can probably go to your local gun range, and they're probably going to be able to give you a short little lesson or something. I'd highly recommend some more advanced training. You guys know who I'm going to recommend. You got Tony Cowden, you got Haley Strategic, Bear Solutions, you got Kyle with Core Vision. So check these guys out, look at them. There's many other great ones out there, and get that training and become good at what you're doing. You know, if you choose to carry a firearm, if you choose to own a firearm, that's your Second Amendment right. I would definitely highly recommend taking that to the next level and making yourself effective with that tool and safe with that tool. So please get training out there. Gentlemen, ladies, I hope that you've learned a little bit of something, or maybe this video has kind of got you thinking about what you maybe want to do for your first handgun purchase, or maybe for your next handgun purchase. Maybe you already have a couple handguns or firearms. In any case, I hope this video is informative for you all. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching and taking the time. I feel very blessed to have this many people watch. So again, stay tuned. We got tons more coming. And as per usual, I've got nothing else for you guys. Okay, last thing, make your money work for you. I've talked about this before. If you don't know what to invest in property. It's rarely a wrong choice. Just make sure you do your research before you buy property somewhere. Some places do depreciate, but overall there's a finite amount of property and an increasing amount of people, which makes property a great investment. Something to think about in the future there. Now, if you've made it this far, you know that you are my ultra fans, and you know we're going to talk about Big Daddy Unlimited. So Big Daddy Unlimited is like Costco, but for the gun world, really cheap prices. Actually really cheap recently. It does work. Some people don't like it. I don't know, give it a shot. Again, it's going to make a difference if you're buying a couple products. If you're buying like one product per year, you're not going to really save that much. But a couple products over the year, that's going to save you some, and it's going to offset the cost of the membership. So check it out. Earl's right below. Thank you for making it this far. I appreciate you. Take care.